Hello, everyone, and welcome to Los Angeles Astra's first home game of the season with Raleigh Radiance. I'm Julia Wallace, one of your illustrious announcers for tonight's game, joined here by Tiffany Wallace.
First off, we would like to take a moment to pause and recognize that we are living in a world that is not welcoming to all and actively seeks to exclude and target people for their gender identity, specifically our trans, non-binary, genderqueer, gender-fluid community. As a league that strives to support and uplift all, the PUL does not condone any discrimination, harassment, or violence whatsoever. And we are committed to our mission of achieving equity in the sport of ultimate by increasing accessibility to the sport for and visibility of women, transgender, non-binary, genderqueer, and gender-fluid people through high-quality competition, leadership experiences, and community partnership. Despite the hate, we appreciate, demonstrate, elevate, and emancipate.
Let's go. Run and tell that. So welcome to the inaugural season of the Los Angeles Astra in the Premier Ultimate League, the first year of the Premier Ultimate League. We're in the greater Los Angeles at the Olympian Stadium and Lusinger High School in Lawndale, California, South Bay. Let's go. So our broadcast today is brought to you by TVX Sports Video. The high-def action wouldn't be possible without the support of TVX. Okay. They're available for all your live broadcast needs at tvxvideo.com. Now let's get to the visitors. Folks came through. Squabble up. The Raleigh Radiance are in the South Division of the Premier Ultimate League. As you can see on the screen, we have a roster for the Radiance up. Tiffany, who do you think could especially make a difference today on the Raleigh Radiance roster? Who are we looking at today?
Okay, well, we got some interesting people here and some interesting folks who are actually not here. Mary Rippey, she's missing today. She's one of their top lead scorers for the Raleigh Radiance, and she's not here. So we're going to see how that works out with some of their players who have decided to venture out to the West Coast. Their captains, from number 45, Caitlin Gross, captain. She's a captain for a reason. She's a downfield cutter, and she can put up big hucks. So she's come out here to play against us, and she's someone to look out for. We also have another player, Carmen Tormey. She's a reliable handler. She's been on the team for years, and she requires a tough mark. She is a critical component to the team. So, we're going to have to be concerned about upfield and downfield presence from this South team who's here visiting us in the South Bay. So let's watch out for them, as well as Jenny Way, Hannah Botcher. She's a concern behind back catches. She's setting up as a primary in the end zone. These are some of the folks who are here, but hey, we're not just worried about them. The Astra is new to the PUL, but the PUL is also getting to know the Astra. So let's see what shakes loose today. The Los Angeles Astra has a lot to prove today in their PUL debut, as we see in the roster here. Julia, who are the players who really need to light up from this West Coast LA team?
All right, let's talk about our home team, the great team of the Los Angeles Astra. We've got a lot of players that are new and players that are tried and true. They're not new to this, they're true to this, like Stephanie Pritchard, Double Zeros, Maggie O'Connor. Folks who are returning, who bring out the amazing personality of Astra, as well as having, new players who are going to on their inaugural debut. We're so excited to have them to be playing on our roster. We also have Iman Hawk, who's from the Bay Area, is coming through. Excited to see her. Amy Lee, Emily Ash. There's a lot of players and a lot of talent that's going to mix it up today, from the new players to the people that are coming back. We're so looking forward to that. So now we're going to be having the Astra coming up. They're going to be making our announcers and our observers for today. Want to acknowledge them. Observers today are Brian Bradburn, Josie Ma, Judge, let's go, Cynthia Love, and Logan Manlove. Amazing folks and also amazing players. They're joined by Astra captains Avalon Igawa and Chip Yen, and as well as Radiance captains Caitlin Gross and Maggie Pletsky.
So right now we're waiting for our flip and to choose sides, if we're going to be starting on offense or defense, and that's going to begin our game. We'll see who fights hardest, who fights first, who strikes first blood. It's going to be a really exciting game today. There's going to be a little bit of wind. We saw some wind coming when the teams were practicing earlier today. I'm really concerned about those kind of around throws, those sideline throws, throwing from side to side. That was something that was a bit of a challenge. What are, just from looking at practice, Julie, what are some things that you noticed as well?
I think it's going to be kind of like what you were saying. The mastery of the wind is going to be about, the mastery of the game. Folks who learn how to deal with the wind as it goes up, as it pushes discs down, who can handle the deep hucks as they go, and also have that nice light touch when throwing break-arounds. That's going to be one of the important things for both teams to be looking out for in terms of their offense, and also using that as defense.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, Julia, and I can't help but just be really excited to see that these teams haven't faced each other. The Raleigh Radiance has an advantage in that they've played in the PUL before. They're used to certain teams that they've had that style. But the Astra, the home team here, they're bringing a new type of sauce, a new type of flavor to this game and to this team, and neither of them are really used to each other. So I think it's going to be kind of a clash of styles in the battle of the sky, and seeing this blue versus white opposition. Even just in the skies right now, you can see the birds kind of coasting in the clouds, and I think the sky is going to see that with the disc as well. Happening, a lot of float coming down, or the disc just completely dropping into the turf, into the turf. So I think that's going to be a concern. There's going to be a lot of handling. I think we may even see a zone here. I think that could be exciting.
Zoning.
A little zoning here, and a lot of running. And one thing that Stephanie Pritchard said, number 00 on the Astra, once just even playing pickup together, she said that the game is won through your legs. So I think that this is going to be an example of where legs, pushing through, following through on offense and also on defense, making sure that you actually catch your Ds is going to be crucial, because just smacking it down is not really going to be enough. You're going to have to follow through and get in the air and ensure that it either goes out of bounds or that there's not that second attempt to get the disc and for the team to get the score.
And what's also interesting is that Astra hasn't played in the PUL, but the PUL hasn't played Astra.
That's right.
So peekaboo, they're going to see what the Astra brings together, how they play, how we play, especially with our home team advantage. And, folks are coming out and still coming in to support the Astra. And that's also like just a exciting kind of sports mentality, in terms of having the team on your side, having the home game advantage, as they say. And it's also exciting to see folks that, you mentioned playing with Stephanie Pritchard at pickup, sometimes playing with these folks, seeing them, a lot of them are coming from Flipside, coming from Lotus. There's one person from Taco Truck. We love Taco Trucks. And people coming here also from the mixed game, coming here from their other experiences, and bringing all of that to, come together on display here.
Yeah, this is really truly a challenge of different Ultimate players and a challenge of styles that we see even within the team, as you brought up. We have players who are mixed players who just play non-binary or gender fluid, trans, Ultimate, just kind of play with that type of team. And so it's those styles that kind of come together and really make the Astra, truly the open squad that we see. And even in the stands, we see 93, but number 1 in our hearts. Oh, that's very sweet.
That's cute.
Representing. Great to see that. Great to see a lot of support in the stands for our Astra players who are here. And hey, who knows, maybe some people flew from South Carolina to come out here and support their folks out here as well. Yes, so
North Carolina.
Let's see. Okay, so in our flips,
Avalon Nagawa and Shipyan and Radiance captains.
Okay.
All right.
Captains.
All right, let's take a look at the results of the flip. We got Avalon and Pletsky Gross, the 2 captains.
Oh wow,
Let's see.
Avalon's got
They're
that.
discussing the rules as our captains faced off with each other.
And some important things to recall as people watch Ultimate. The stall is going to be till 10. So that's something that's important to keep in mind. So people have 10 seconds to get that off. These are observers, not refs. This is still a self-officiated sport and game. And we're so excited for these observers that are going to be helping with calls. There's going to be in and out calls, foul calls, things like that. And, our observers here, especially Josie Ma and Bradburn, these are people that are experienced. We've watched them at many games from the club to the UFA to the PUL and the WL. So they're explaining that.
The results on the flips are that Astra will be starting on offense.
Astra starting on offense.
5 minutes.
And they'll be starting in about 5 minutes. So still explaining the rules, but Astra starting in 5 minutes. We'll see which side that they are choosing. All right. Very good.
Also, I'm feeling that scarf that Avalon's got on.
Oh,
Cool. We love that. Okay, representing fully.
really, it's such an honor to be part of an inclusive league as this one that is so welcoming to so many different identities. Is truly a pioneer in the sport.
That's right. Having it from the LA River to the Santa Monica Sea. We are so excited to be watching Ultimate Frisbee. And with that, the teams are going to squabble up, and we're going to find out what goes next. So excited. Thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned.
All right. We would like to thank our sponsor, Discraft, the official disc of the PUL. Discraft provides PUL teams and events with customized discs that you can purchase at our merch table tonight. And you can purchase online as well. Discraft supports the PUL vision and mission to foster growth in Ultimate nationwide. Visit Discraft today.
I've owned a few Discraft discs myself.
Indeed, 175 grams of a good time.
That's right. Yes, and also we're sponsored by Breakmark. Breakmark, the official uniform and merchandising sponsor of the premier Ultimate League and Los Angeles Astra. Shop at full PUL collection teams.breakmark.com/group/PUL and rep your favorite PUL team.
FYI, there are open bathrooms by the fan stands.
And Santa Monica Brew Works is the first and only independent craft brewery in Santa Monica. They brew California-inspired beers for those who live the beach brewed lifestyle. Visit their brewery and tasting room at the corner of 19th and Colorado. There's free parking.
Free parking
in Los Angeles. That is an amazing and rare commodity. They've been host to many Astra meet and greets, have delicious food and tasty brews. Go grab a pint and tell them the Astra sent you.
Awesome, amazing. Reminds me of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Just need a tasty beer and a cool buzz and I'm fine. Fabulous.
That's right. Get you a nice tasty brew, cool buzz. Support the Astra Santa Monica Brew Works.
Okay. So let's have another sponsor recognition. Watch Me Sports Bar with an I'll show you attitude. Watch Me refers to the expression of strength and empowerment. Watch Me celebrates achievements by women, who continuously break barriers in sports, world, and beyond. With community and inclusivity as their backdrop, they aim to create welcoming and comfortable environment, showcasing a steady flow of any and all televised women's sports with sound. They're also committed to supporting young athletes by providing them with a place where they can connect and be inspired by the achievements of female sports icons. Check out and Watch Me in Long Beach as they create a space where women's sports are celebrated, friendships are forged, and empowerment thrives. So watch out and watch me.
All right. Some amazing local sponsors from Santa Monica, Long Beach that really have been supportive of the Astra. There have been many watch parties that folks have gone to and had some tasty brews, tasty waves, and it's so exciting to be able to support them, and because they are really supporting us. Supporting the community as well, ensuring that, in the midst of a time where it can feel so overwhelming, it's great to be part of such an inspiring crew of people and watch such an inspiring game that we're going to see today. So let's watch the Astra starting on offense and the Radiance starting on defense at this game today. All right, so I'm seeing Steph Pressure. Oh, there's a little step. Let's go. hands up, fists up. So Steph Pritchard, I see Maggie O'Connor, our tried and true folks, Emily Ash out there on offense. It's going to be so exciting. They're about to receive, so it's a good offensive line of Astra.
22, we're starting off with your namesake, Julia from the Radiance.
Let me tell you, Tiff, I haven't seen as many Julias as I have when I played Ultimate Frisbee. I don't know what it is, but Julias love the disc.
Okay.
And Maggie O'Connor's going to pick up the disc.
Okay. Oh, and an immediate D.
It's that wind that we were talking about.
Wound field. It's going to be really challenging. Oh, but what a huge bid that we see. And another follow-through D. That follow-through D is really what's going to make or break the game. And really, we're seeing truly winning it with their legs. They're continuing to follow through as we set up. Maggie setting up a play. Moving around. Busting downfield. Nice upfield cut. Launching it downfield to space where she wanted to see a cutter in the end zone.
Yeah, and maybe some of this is also testing the wind in real time, really seeing how much float is there, how much is the wind pushing the disc down. And, you know, some of this is also for field position. It's still going. It's still going and going and going. That disc is still going. Okay, it's picked up by Radiance. And really, we're going to see how that works. It might be some playing defense close to the end zone and, you know, hopefully for an Astra score. Number 9, Jenny right out with the disc setting up. Cross cut. 22. Julia up. Another disc to the chest. Bounces right off. Maggie O'Connor directing traffic. Oh, great upfield cut. Awesome fakes looking around. She's seeing. Maggie again taken to the floor, making that catch. Smooth around cut. Can she follow through? It drifts out of bounds. These are going to be a lot of lofty discs. I'm going to see Claire will pick up the disc. Looking around.
Tight D, do you have a Callahan? Oh, she catches it.
Nice D from Lily. Nice attempt. And she catches it well.
A lot of high pressure from the Astra, but the Radiance are able to keep up. Lots of float. And a big D from Chip Yen. Maggie O'Connor making more plays. Good, smooth throw, unfortunately.
And it might also just be some first game nerves. You know, these teams are feeling each other out. They haven't played each other before. And again, this is the inaugural game for the Astra at the PUL. Nice catch, number 22. Okay, we're seeing a lot of shorties. Yep. Another follow through.
Great interception.
Okay,
amazing.
Seeing a lot of value from the Astra. Stephanie Pritchard making smart throws
and taking to the floor to make sure we get that catch. Good communication by the Astra, letting our teammates know exactly where they want the disc to go.
And as you say that, there's, you know, that's commentator's curse, but really what it was is that as folks are trying to feel out this game and feel out the wind, the other team, there's just been a lot of turnovers, but there have been turnovers closer to the Astra end zone than the Radiance end zone, which gives them a chance to have an easier scoring ability. And there it is again. You know, you get it turned over closer to the end zone, you have a better chance of scoring than if it's at the other team's end zone.
That's absolutely right, Julia. And there's a lot of composure from the Astra, and so even though there's been turns, there's been lots of time taken to ensure that the throw is successful.
Oh,
And
so close.
And a foul called. Stoppage of play. At the beginning of the game, that these follow through D, follow through O as well.
Yeah. And they're going to have a discussion about it. Now, I kind of feel like I did see some contact. The question is, especially with the wind, is there a play? And the observer says that she does see a foul. And here's a replay here. Okay, and there's the contact there. The question would have been, could she have made a play? And I think she may have. Oh, goodness. Oh, was it caught? And we have a Radiance player saying that it was down.
But it's considered
up.
But it's considered up. We have our first score of the game.
Chip Yen doing again. That was a great catch, and Astra really has been, especially with this possession, going to ground several different times to maintain possession. They're showing that they really want this game and they really want this disc. I'm going to see that again. And there it is. Observers call it. They see it. It's a score.
One of the things that I noticed about that point was just the calm presence of the Astra. It seems like the Radiance, they're playing well. They're playing a familiar type of play to them. However, the Astra are adjusting quickly, at least at that point, even with all those turnovers, directing traffic, communicating well with their teammates. So let's start with this first pull. We have a pull, which is like a kickoff in football that initiates the play.
It's about midfield, a little less than midfield. Number 59 from Radiance picks up.
Okay. And then we see 59 again directing traffic, kind of doing a similar play. Handling back, the same end zone, very popular. She makes a lofty, risky throw above that scuba. That was a choice. However, we do see the Astra coming back again.
With Carly Steiner picking up.
More time directing traffic, a high grab around. Carly Steiner again looking. They want to make sure they're making space. So it's a lot of good patience.
Wow, that's great hands by Steiner.
Good undercuts, making sure we stay in bounds. Okay. So she went right out of bounds before that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see those cones about where the end zone is or where the in and out
And a
calls are.
launch downfield. That's a good note that it lofts and stays.
It did. I kind of thought
maybe
maybe,
it was gonna
maybe
drop.
she could catch up to that, but hey, Sky U represent. We saw that, and
Youth Ultimate. Okay, have it.
no, it's
Another
like,
round. Okay, this goes to ground again. We have another turnover. Back again. Oh, and it just tips right out of her hands. That disc is going to be moving fast with a lot of spin. There's when you can see the observer's jersey just kind of like rippling off of him. There's a lot of wind. It's hard to see in some instances because we don't have very many flags, but you can tell with the movement of the jerseys. It's there.
and so they're picking up at the front of the end zone, and that's going to be where it's going to be difficult to get that throw off because it's like a trap coffin corner, and now Steiner just rips it, and it's going out of bounds.
Actually, it's a good decision because the Radiance were locking down that D. They didn't even have a person on.
Well, it looks like, though, it's going back all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe there was a stall called. But, you know, you got to get it off before the T of 10, and it's taken right there and by the end zone.
Audrey Lyman of the Radiance, makes that throw to number 6, Ginny Way. We talked about her at the beginning.
Ginny Way, all day Callahan nominee, Pleiades player, just amazing. She's a threat. So they're going to have to really try to contain Ginny Way. I'm going to see that replay again. And look at those feet. Look at that. You know, it really does a great offensive cut, and you know, Jenny Way is going to be one to watch.
Another concern is that Audrey Lyman on offense as well. She was one of the people very similar to Maggie O'Connor, picking up the disc over and over again, keeping it in that side of the end zone, to your point earlier, Julia, to ensure that they could handle it and keep it as close to the end zone as possible. So really, it's a matter of time until we see that zone. We even saw kind of a zone look on that defensive play. So let's see what happens when the Astra come out on offense.
And check out our Astra folks. We have Avalon Gawa. We've got Stitch there. Naomi Guzman. Great tried and true offensive line. Also some new players as well.
Really exciting. There she is. They call her Stitch. Naomi Guzman sets up with the first throw. Avalon picks it up with a deep cut downfield. Lots of yard gainage.
And that's some good stack discipline
Violet
right
Iman. Iman, she picks up the disc too from the bay. Up, our high school student got the disc. She's looking. Almost. A catch up. It is up. It is up despite all of the traffic. Amazing. And just an unfortunate turn right off the hands. But that's all right. Again, we're by the end zone. So we're going to see what has been consistently going throughout this game, Julia.
That's right. That coffin corner, you know, and they're going to be setting that up there, trying to shut that throw down, and it's immediately put up, but the wind is floating. Oh, but it's caught. Wow.
We got
by number 19, Sydney Kelly. Goodness, great hands.
And a big break around, and that break goes down.
The disc is just pushing it down. It's pushing it down. And again, both teams are going to have to deal with that. Okay, totally unguarded. And takes advantage of that. Avalon, fantastic catch.
All right, who are we looking at here? Oh, our Bay Area teammate. And she's open. Oh, but that's a tough throw.
That was a great play. That was a great play by Naomi Guzman. But just, you know, the wind is going to be the 8th defender today.
Oh, there she is. Okay, that's our student right there, number 15, Violet Way. She wanted to see that, and she went to ground for the disc too.
Nice
Actually,
bid.
a really tremendous bid as well. A huge D, and disc goes to ground.
It's just pushing.
Oh, wait, what do we have? A violation call.
Looks like an injury call. You know, it's always best, even if you know you can get up on your own, which is great to see them be able to get up on their own. Yeah, you know, when you're injured in the least bit, you should just take your time off, take a point off, and, you know, just gather yourself. Also important to recognize that, you know, when there's an injury call, the other team can also sub a player as well if need be.
Absolutely. Astra back and making quick work of that.
That's all with the
head spike.
Avalon.
Going on with another score. Astra up 2-1 against the Radiance. All right. So, let's see that again.
Cool as you like. With the intensity. Oh, yes. Tried and true. Astra picking it up and putting it in for the score. Astra 2, Raleigh 1.
Incredible. And the game just continues to stay in that end zone. We haven't had any scores. It's been 3 points, so it's still, of course, really early. in the game, but we haven't seen any other scores in that area. So the game tends to be fought on that side of the field. We've got, I'm going to give Mom a few little notes about her. She's coaching the UC Irvine Women's Ultimate Team in Orange County called the Grass Ninjas. She's in master's school for ABA to become a BCBA. She's a behavior interventionist, and she's learning Spanish and Japanese on Duolingo. She's on day 434 in a row, and she has a friend streak with 4 Astra members: Veronica, Carly, Amanda, and Alexa.
Qué bueno.
Amazing.
Me gusta, necesita práctica más español, so ojalá
Siga también.
práctica conmigo. Fantastic. We've got Radiance on offense. They're working it up on that sideline. And let's see, okay, number 45 throws it, and they kind of do a little give-go. Oh,
And
wow.
a massive score. Again, with our policeman, Jenny Way, she's going to be making her way downtown with that.
Running fast, catching discs.
And she's home now. Well, she's away. But she's away, but it's still her way to get that score in the end zone. That Jenny Way, she's making it happen. Let's see that again. Just a few dishes, break, and then another break score. Got to take the ground, but she's making her way downtown. It's really exciting to see that happen again. This women, trans, gender fluid, non-binary ultimate is fantastic. Truly open to so many people. Yeah, truly open.
And open to many different
Truly
kinds of
open.
people.
Wow.
I love that.
Wow. Giving truth to that term. So we see that another point where the Astra are coming out on offense.
And you know, Tiffany, to your point earlier, all the points scored have been scored on that side, on that end zone. And you know, what I've noticed is that when the teams have tried to huck it to the other end zone, it just kind of curls around and just dies down. And that's going to be the interesting thing is as they continue to play. What's going to happen? Look.
Back at it again. That pull goes to dirt. Clearly that is upfield and really hard to get a lot of distance with that.
Great around throw.
Okay, we have number 16. It's going big, and it's going out.
But close to Astra's end zone.
All right, let's see what the Radiance can do with that. She's looking to make a play.
And the interesting thing about the PUL is that
the first quarter.
His time has been expired. It's the team with the last possession. That was Radiance, and then the buzzer beater. So then they've prevented them from scoring. So it's tied now. Astra 2, Radiance 2 at the end of the first quarter.
Okay, Julie, I gotta say, I can't help it. My eyes get greedy looking at that. That was so close to the end zone. Could she done a gratuitous layout for a Callahan right there? Could she have just, with the presence of mind, can we do a Mac? Can we do a Mac?
See, the thing was is that there was I love that just for the plot, but I feel like because the buzzer beater already happened when the possession was still in Radiance's hand, that it wouldn't have counted even if there was that amazing play. It would have had to have been maybe a second or two before that buzzer beater. But hey, I love it. I love a good ultimate high drama play, and I think that's actually good to keep in mind since most of the plays have been happening at that end zone.
Visit their brewery at K-State at the corner of 960 Colorado Drive. It's free parking.
I just can't help it. I can't help it. So let's see. We have our Premier Ultimate League.
Joining us today are the Red Renegades of Long Beach. Red Renegades is an all-inclusive
We're back for the second quarter of Astra Radiance PUL Premier Ultimate League action. The score is 2-all with Astra receiving. And you know what we've been noticing is this win has been the 8th defender. Whoever masters the wind and how to play it on offense, maybe get a few breaks, is the one who's going to really be successful and victorious.
Today we are celebrating the Astra's first year.
It's truly been a fight in the skies. Macking it down, following through on the D's, ensuring that you make that catch, or just getting to ground to maintain possession, making that throw over several different defenders or offenders to maintain possession. We've seen that happen time and time again from both teams, and the score really reflects that action that we're seeing on the field. It's 2 versus 2, and both teams are fighting it in the skies and on the dirt. No one is giving up. So it's been really exciting today.
And I think it's also going to be a teamwork makes the dream work kind of a thing. If that disc pops up, even if it wasn't thrown to you, you're going to need to be aware to make sure you catch it, you know. So all the teams are going to have really have a heads up, because this disc is not totally predictable in terms of its distance. But what a fantastic throw, end zone to end zone. And see this disc floating.
That was Naomi Guzman. Amazing pull, incredible. All right, looking upfield, not getting a lot of distance. We've barely been able to get halfway down the field on this end zone. We got number 52. Radiance. Okay, this is the furthest any team has gotten really without dropping the disc. Back to 59, Audrey Lyman. She's been a mainstay handler for the Radiance. Kaylin Gross, captain.
And really what the Astra's trying to do is force them to throw that disc on that sideline, because it's just been less predictable over there.
Kaylin continues to make the throws. Clear, Brigadier Curtis.
Oh, and just right there, number 88, Maggie Pletzky drops the disc. Poor, unlucky.
Yeah, almost broke the streak.
Yeah, they broke it in terms of where the disc was, but not in terms of scoring. And
and a huge huck downfield. Not bad positioning for the Astra. And there's Audrey Lyman again. Handler looking to work it down. Let's see if the Astra can set up a defense to prevent that movement we saw just now. Okay, do we have another Callahan? Okay, a defense.
Yeah, and that's, what they call huck and play deep. A great huck. It would have been great if it was caught initially, but then the Astra was able to play a successful defensive play, and they get to take it right at the end zone with Naomi Guzman. Unlucky, it just turfs it there.
Yeah, they really clamped down on defense, the Radiance did, with that around. And so she needed to kind of have that presence to do that. Up in the sky again, ensuring that they catch their Ds, stopping those plays from happening.
Pick called.
Cameron Helm throws it back to Iman Hawk. Back to Naomi Guzman.
That was a great cut by Guzman. Break around throw. Oh,
okay.
Fighting, but had a lot of zip, which, in windy conditions, having a zippy throw is going to be helpful, because then it doesn't just float up like this one. Oh, and the disc is helping Astra. Floats a little bit. Naomi's going to pick that disc up.
Oh, and such an incredible bid, that outstretched hand to try and make that play. Number 26, Cameron Helm. But now Astra back on defense. Audrey Lyman again, looking to see what she can do. They're just hucking it at this point and hoping for a catch. Catch happens. But the Astra are ensuring that D's are maintained. Yes, another steady hand. Those blady throws, we saw them practicing that. Avalon directing traffic with her fakes. Looking back again.
Oh,
and a turn, unfortunate. Okay, they're just, looks like Radiance is just kind of throwing and going and hoping that they can get that, because they're noticing that if they're just going to work it up, those turns are going to happen right by the Astra end zone. So Audrey has decided, hey, I'll just throw it up there. But the Astra's hands are very sure.
That's right. And again, you know, they're getting help from their friends. If you don't catch it, make sure you watch the disc. And Avalon, all alone, catches that. And they're able, again, just go on that tried and true end zone. Astra up 3 to Raleigh Radiance 2.
Yeah, it's never gonna stop. You know, this win, I mean, not never, but this win is not showing any signs of stopping. And even though we see some adjustment from the Radiance in terms of their strategy, the Astra are really staying very firm in supporting their teammates, making those, the high ball kind of catches. We have the littles there, looks like Lexi Roy's family, and you know, really helping with this next generation of Ultimate, and it makes me so proud. I have to take a moment to recognize
also,
it.
shout out to the moms that are playing Ultimate throughout here. Shout out to y'all. You are doing amazing playing, coming back, and your resilience is amazing. So shout out to the moms throughout the PUL and the Ultimate Frisbee community. Lexi Roy herself is a teacher, so, and she has 2 kids, but also is just helping the next generation of youth. And in this time where, you know, we see education being so viciously undermined,
attacked, and the loss of the Department of Education, just valuing teachers is so important. So we value Youth Ultimate, we value youth in general, and having educators here is so important.
Goodness, some amazing
value,
low grabs.
Value of the disc, incredible. And then number 15, Radiance again in that end zone area. Oh, that lofty throw, but she makes it work with the spin. Oh,
goodness.
Tough. That corner of the end zone also has seen quite a few turns. We have to acknowledge that as well.
Julia Zerzinski made a great attempt. That was also really good flow by Radiance. But, you know, unlucky. And they watched that.
They were able to capitalize on that, knowing exactly what was happening. Unfortunately, it was channeled. A great shutdown defense, and then we get our first score in that side of the end zone, and that is number 48 of the Radiance, Natalie Baumgarten.
That's the same end zone.
No, that side of the end zone. So that's our first score in that side of the end zone. Really, all of them have been in the other corner and said, it's a habit. It's something that I like to pay attention to. What side of the end zone are scores happening? What side are they not happening on? What corner of the end zone? It's a box. It's a rectangle.
Yeah.
But it's important to note, because that's where the disc is going. That's where the disc is not going. So why is that happening? Why is it not happening in certain areas? To pay attention to that based on either the wind or can our offense be adjusted. Oh, a little clap, a little catch. Some coordination to bring the team together. on the LA Astra. Scores are tied 3-3.
Nothing wrong with a little coordination on the sideline. Nothing wrong with that. Especially, you know, teams like Revolution, they do a whole choreographed move. So I'm all about coordination, all about the choreography, the drama, the excitement. Jenny Way pulls that disc, and it is floating, still floating, and then drops off a little bit past the halfway line. Oh, and then we have... Great catch.
Okay, and moving it upfield. O'Connor with the disc. What are they looking at? Continuing to look upfield. More directing of traffic. Okay, we're seeing more communication with this offensive line. And O'Connor launches it almost. Okay, really good look. But we also see the Radiance starting off near the end zone of the LA Astra.
Nice try by Sonic there. Feel free to ask for any reference to Sonic the Hedgehog. He'll tell you about it.
Okay. All right.
And we've got our in-stadium
we have our in-stadium announcement. Reference to Sonic the Hedgehog here. Lots of hilarity and good times enjoying Ultimate Frisbee today. Very exciting. Audrey Lyman, serious and focused with the disc, looking upfield, and Maggie O'Connor ensuring that the D stays D'd. Oh, and who do we have here with our disc looking around?
Nice catch under pressure.
Incredible catch under pressure. Looking around, continuing looking around. Oh, nice feed. Number 20, Maddie Shade. Oh, not letting it happen.
And O'Connor is just an amazing disc distributor. Oh. And there it is, Emily Ash with the disc, with the score.
Maggie to
Nessie, an amazing player. Played with her in the Crosstown Classic. Let's go Ghost. And it was an amazing catch. So we see Maggie O'Connor totally open, catches that disc. She's just... Emily Ash is just open for days, just waiting for that, unguarded, and catches a disc to make it Astra 4, Raleigh Radiance 3 in the second quarter.
What I'm also noticing, Julia, is that there's a lot of speed on this team with the LA Astra. However, quickness is really what is valued on the team, and there's a big difference.
What's the difference here?
The difference is that with speed, you're having to launch downfield, beat people to the disc in almost a foot race. Here, you're having to make very quick cuts, have a lot of agility, and change direction on a dime, and very much be calm and stop your move. This is a handler-based game. It's the battle. At first, I said the battle of the skies, but it's also a contention of handlers. It's a tussle of titans and a tussle with handlers, because players like Maggie O'Connor incredibly fast. Nessa, super fast. However, this is not a game for that, of a downfield huck to cut. It's one where you have to be quick, agile, make those cuts, beat your defender or offender, and handle out of control. So, and with precision.
Yeah, it's a game what's gonna take being calm as well. Oh, wow, what an incredible intense D.
And the Radiance is also showing that right now with their handling skills. And they're making those catches. They're following through. We have number 24, Hannah Botcher. Concerned about her, but the disc just slips through the hands. We have to have sure fingers in this game.
And I think a lot of that was that pressure that Astra was putting on them. Each time the catches were done under pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot of contention. And that slicey, dicey throw, they practiced that. Oh. Another one. Oh, okay, I thought she had that.
She did. I think it was a ground strip, but amazing attempt by Avalon. Amazing.
And, you know, Naomi Guzman got a lot of yards of that. It's a great placement of the disc. We have a call in the field. Timeout in the second quarter with less than 2 minutes left to go in this quarter. What do you think they're talking about right now? A timeout looks like done by the Radiance.
Okay. Well,
I think what they're trying to figure out what their offense is going to be, how they're going to work it now. And, you know, we see Jinwea on the field there, them talking about it. I think they're going to try to figure out what they're going to do about this wind, the puzzle of the wind, how they're going to, you know, air bend the disc in order to be able to catch it again in that tried and true end zone. And I think Astra's really in a better position at this point because it's closer to their end zone, and because, again, you know, everybody's going to have to work it. There's going to have to be lots of touches on this disc to be able to score.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we have Audrey Lyman there as well. We have a lot of their star players there. Botcher, Lyman, Carmen Tormey is on. I think Jenny Way is there too. We have Julia Hoffman. They got a lot of their star players on. So I think that there's definitely showing a lot of concern to ensure that they get another on the board because they're down by 1. But each point is taking quite a bit of time. Okay, we got Jenny looking downfield, pops up.
And you need that help offense. A lot of people talk about help D. Help O is going to be crucial for the team to be able, for whichever team comes out on top. Because, you know, as that disc flows, and there's a call on the field, as that disc flows, you're going to need your other teammates to watch out to where it comes from so that they can make sure to pick it up and catch it before it goes to ground.
You know, we reference Kendrick Lamar, squabble up. You need people to back you up. You know, you got to bring some backup. You got to bring your people to make sure that that disc is caught. And if it's not to you, it's to somebody who looks like you in terms of who's wearing blue or who's wearing white, who's on your same team. And you're not catching the disc twice, so you're staying out of the play to ensure you can maintain possession or that you get that D and it stays D.
Now, if I'm correct, during timeouts, there can be a whole line change depending on the possession of the disc. So that Astra would be behooved to bring out an offensive line here rather than keeping their defenders so that they, and it looks like they have. They brought out Maggie O'Connor, who's an incredible distributor, Stephanie Pritchard, Emily Ash. So it looks like they're going to be calling their folks out to be picking up the disc and working up the field. Chip Yen, amazing offensive line for Astra that's now on the field.
They're making really critical strategic decisions right now with players who have proven themselves, especially during this game. So, you know, we have Samantha Wool picking up the disc, and she's looking downfield as well. And we got our handlers ready and prepared to make some great plays. And she starts just that way. Okay. Samantha looking downfield. Stephanie Pritchard catches the disc coming under. Back to Samantha. She looks around. Back to Chip. Tanessa. They're just cutting under, breaking around. Back to Samantha. To O'Connor. O'Connor looks. Back to Walt. There's a call. Let's see what happened.
Another Astra timeout.
And you know what? That makes sense. At 34 seconds left in the second, you better use it or you lose it, because there's going to be halftime right about now. So the Astra want to make sure that they not only score it, but they're going to score it on that other end zone that no one else has scored before, where no man, woman, genderqueer, non-binary person has scored before in this game. So they're looking to score over there. So this is, I think, a smart decision by the Astra leadership as well as the O-line to really try to take it to that other end zone and score on that other side. And I think their handler movements has been really great. The weave, they've been weaving that handler weave all up and down that side of the end zone.
It should have been bobbing and weaving, and they are bobbing and weaving. They're ducking and dodging and bobbing and weaving and catching and throwing and making sure that they're going into the end zone. So we'll see if that dream comes true for the Astra. And game has been initiated. Let's see what happens.
You got to bob and weave when you're going to squabble up.
Connor gets up, makes it. Oh, is there a call? It seemed quite physical.
Now, the question might be whether that happened when the disc was already on the other side, already out of play, out of bounds. So that's what they're discussing.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see that replay. Great catch under pressure by O'Connor.
She would have been in.
She would have been in. That's right.
That's quite
contentious.
So let's see. Emily Ash. Okay. Oh, she wanted a high five. That's okay. A little misunderstanding.
Okay, and it is ruled no foul, and so it's now going to be Radiance's disc at the other part of that end zone with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the buzzer goes off, and so
Callahan.
Radiance has an opportunity to still score after the buzzer beater, as we had explained before. But now it's a turn, and that is the first half, people. It is Los Angeles 4, Radiance 3. Unfortunately, Radiance was able to keep Astra from being able to score at that end zone, but they're still up by 1 point at halftime. Any interesting things you've noticed during this first half, Tiffany?
That D was really quite a critical D, and it was a physical D. I gotta say, so my end's gonna kind of go up for something like that. So I can kind of see that feeling right there, and just wanting to focus up because they have a lot to lose. They're right in the end zone, and getting physical at that moment in time only kind of behooves one team. So, that's it's something that Astra has to kind of focus on, shrug off, and ensure that they get on the better side of the home team. Clearly has more people on their squad, and away, of course, could probably bring a whole lot more people. So I think that what we're going to be seeing a lot more here is focus, probably adjustment from the Radiance. They're, I think, going to maybe put it and punt it a bit more.
Yeah. What did you think about this first half? Like, what were you seeing in terms of what your reflections were?
My reflections on the first half are that the Radiance tried to make adjustments. Those adjustments worked temporarily in terms of putting it to get away from the Astra end zone. That did work a few times, but I think the Astra were just able to really work together as a team to ensure that their Ds were caught, ensure that their Os were caught, the ones that were lofty in the air, and not let that disc hit the ground. In fact, let their bodies hit the floor and catch that disc before the disc did. So really the Astra are getting it and making those sacrifices up and low.
Yeah, I agree with you that really the battle of that end zone, Astra's come out on top at the end of this first half, and the end of the second quarter. But really what it's going to be, or what I saw happening, was the wind being the eighth defender. When people tried to huck that disc, something that would normally, without this kind of wind, coast to the other end of the end zone, dies before even crossing crossing the midway of the game. And so I think what's going to be is it's going to take this team, either team, thinking about the wind, playing smart with their handlers especially, and knowing when to huck the disc and knowing when to be conservative with working the disc up the field.
Yeah, definitely was that time for it to happen. So, and it's just great seeing youth play as well. TK, another teacher out there, another worker with the youth. So pretty exciting to see that. I myself work in education and have taught for years, so that's really exciting to see the next generation of Ultimate. We all want to continue to see our sport grow. And encourage people. One of the things that I feel very proud of in playing Ultimate is not just the youth of Ultimate, but also Masters level Ultimate, Grandmasters, Great Grandmasters of Ultimate. It just really provides a space for so many age levels and skill levels of Ultimate. We see him take it to the floor as well. DK willing to do that. He's taking to the sky. He's taking to the ground, right? He's willing to make those incredible plays. So that's really exciting to see.
So please support Sky U. We've got amazing folks that are wanting to teach younger players about playing Ultimate. There's Texas there. And really getting all levels, as you were saying, all levels of players from when you're a baby till as long as you want to play. And so check out Sky U. And actually one of our amazing announcers also works with Sky U. Dawn.
There's Dawn.
So please stay tuned for second half action coming to you live from Lawndale at the Lusinger Lusinger High School. We have halftime at Los Angeles Astra 4, Raleigh Radiance 3.
Here we go, Astra.
And
with the
welcome
third quarter about
back.
to
Welcome
begin.
back
Let's
for
hear
second
it
half
for
action
Astra.
between the Raleigh Radiance and the Los Angeles Astra. Tiffany, what you got to say?
Oh, so excited to be back here for the second half of action, playing with our trans, gender fluid, gender queer, non-binary, and women's sports ultimate, being the pioneer in ultimate frisbee and in the sports athletic community. I'm so excited to see both of these teams. The win has played such a crucial role in the score and in the athleticism of both of these teams from the South and from the West Coast. And so it's been really exciting to see the battle of the skies, the battle in the air from both of them. And even though it's a low score right now, the points have lasted quite a long time, Julia. So one of the things I've noticed is just they've both really had a lot of contention. The scores have been on the same side of the field, but both teams are really unrelenting in playing together and wanting to make sure that they come out on top. What is something that you have noticed?
Really, this kind of play with this low scoring, lots of turnovers, it takes a lot of mental fortitude. And we've got our O-line with May O'Connor, such an incredible distributor of the disc, handling this point in the backfield.
With Samantha Wool, both of them have been playing really well together, back and forth. Now, dishing it together, and we got upfield, and it just slips out of the hands. That's common practice at this game. These uncharacteristic turns, and then another turn in the end zone. It's been common today. The win has just been D'ing them both up. One of the things that you said has been the 8th defender, and I think that's a really accurate summarization of the field. Out and look at Maggie O'Connor representing for trans lives, and we love to see it, but also just very focused on this game as
Did
well.
you see
Stephanie
that?
Pritchard, oh yeah, not letting it up.
Juked out.
Oh, and that huge break around, that slicing and dicing and that break, and Anessa making sure Emily Nash dishing it back. These brutal, huge, massive cuts. Oh, and then gets up in the air, not letting that go without contention. And the Radiance throw it and wanted that downfield from Claire Hackle. She got the D, but they wanted that bookend, and unfortunately ended in a turnover for the Radiance. But we're back with the Astra. Samantha Wool looking again. Oh, and a big catch, and it gets up, and we're back with the Radiance. The turns just keep coming back and forth, slicing and dicing. Oh, did she catch it? Is that in? That
She
is
caught it,
in
and
the
that's
end
in.
zone for the Radiance.
And a great start to the Radiance. Also at that same end zone.
Natalie Baumgarten makes a score in that end zone.
Catches that bomb. And there's the replay.
Sliced disc. Oh, is it? And she says, yes, it is indeed.
You know, that's the other thing, is that it seems like this disc is like naturally blading. Like the disc is just being formed into a blade. You just have to be prepared to catch those blades. Oftentimes, as handlers, we are told, don't throw that bladey throw, don't throw that bladey throw, but you've got to be prepared to catch that bladey throw.
Oh yeah, because the wind's going to throw it for you. The wind's going to
do what it's going to do. The wind's going to do what it wants to do.
So you got to be prepared to do it, to catch it, to be there. Even if it's not for you, it's yours if you're in the area. So we're seeing the teams make very quick adjustments. We got the pull coming from Audrey Lyman. She's been on O. She's been on D. She has been a consistent player on almost every point. I'm like, girl, are you playing savage today?
They've got definitely a significantly smaller roster than the Astra, and that might start to have some effects on the Radiance team as these points, these long points with many turnovers continue. Wow, catching it, Avalon catching it under pressure. Well, I guess there was a call in the field.
And she's alone up.
Trying to catch up.
So, there's a call on the field, and we see an Astra player having to go back. She made an incredible cut, And she's saying, oh, that's unfortunate. That cut was incredible. That's Amanda Ring. She made that incredible cut, broke away from her defender,
I know.
Claire Hackle, who got that last D, but unfortunately couldn't happen. But that's okay. And Frisbee, there's a lot of adjustments. We have Iman Hawk. She makes a great cut. She's there for the dunk.
What a
breaking away again.
So much yards. We have not been seeing that many yards. Oh, wow. And just jukes her player.
A little dish. Oh, and then
wow,
coming back.
Zips that in. Stitch with the catch. That is stitched into the end zone. Great catch. And now it is Los Angeles 5, Raleigh Radiance 4.
Naomi Guzman ensuring that that catch stays there. She clutches it in. Let's see that score again.
Is that our
No.
That's number 44. Nadine Meister catches it. End zone Meister. Okay. Great assist. Great throw. Just enough zip, but enough where it doesn't just bounce off of you, because we've been seeing a lot of these zips when people throw these zippy throws, it just bounces off of them and it's difficult for them to catch. So just the right amount of touch.
And a critical difference, it's like one of those catch with your abs sort of things, when really, she's like, I'm going to make sure that it's not just my hands that get the disc. Sometimes you see those kinds of catches where it's just like the two claws that are kind of coming out. She's like, I'm engaging my full self to make sure that we get that catch there. It's
that
too
core.
windy to it. Yeah, we're coring it, we're abbing it. This is ensure.
I think that landed in. You see the sideline celebrating because now they have to take it on the sideline rather than in the middle of the field.
We have Audrey Lyman making that around again. Huge catch back. Oh, and their captain launches it deep. And a layout going to dirt, but unfortunately the disc makes a grave of its own. And now we have the Astra on offense.
Okay, that's a great throw. It has a lot of float, but some zip, and it just dies out. She was right there, though. But, hey, I'm unlucky, and that's just how this game has been going today. Goes to ground. Oh, and it just floats up, but it's caught.
Oh, my goodness. Twist and a catch, but a painful catch
by Natalie So. Amazing grab. She's good, folks. She's good.
Oh my.
I know. Goodness gracious. Well, it was a great catch, and heads up. You got to be ready. Even if it wasn't for you, as you were saying, you got to be there for it.
And wow, what a heads up D in response. So unfortunate for that. Might have been one of those things, Julia Hoffman, that the timeout could have helped out. But that's okay. We're back with number 6, Jenny Way. She's there. Oh, okay, but makes a catch. Number 2, Claria Curtis. Back
nice seal.
88. Plitsky, and the captain. Oh, but unfortunately could not make that catch again. Okay, and now we have the Astra making a go at it. Launches it. It isn't up. Blade. Lofty. Up. They could use O'Connor. However, Jenny Way is there instead to get the D. Going back to Audrey Lyman. Back to their captain. To 15. And they just make quick work. Break after break to the score.
That's
to
Maddie
88.
Pletsky.
Maddie Pletsky. Captain. Making it happen. That captain
And
crunch.
she's fired up. She's fired up. Let's see that again. They're just working
Break.
it up that sideline.
Break. Score. So it is now tied up 5-5 at this time. You know, can't help but think back to what we discussed earlier in terms of getting injured and taking that sub, because that head play was an incredible catch. I mean, that was amazing by So on the home team, but Natalie So maybe needed that sub.
I'm
but
loving this.
that movement right
I'm
there.
loving that movement
it
right
blinded
there.
me. Oh goodness! I said, say what? Say what?
I love it. It's like a kickball change with a clap and a hand up.
It definitely had a 5, 6, 7, 8 in there.
I'm feeling it. Okay.
Pull by Radiance. And it goes out of bounds again. So we have time for a setup. Let's see what the Astra pulls out. Haven't seen a zone yet. Haven't seen a zone. So that's interesting.
And see, they get to center it because it landed out of bounds and it was never inbound. They get to center the disc.
All right, now we have around, okay, great, to 20. Stephanie Pritchard makes the catch. Looks back around. Maggie O'Connor, we have a break to O'Connor.
That was a little nice. That was nice. Some nice footwork by O'Connor right there. A great catch by number 20, Maddie Shade.
That's a tough catch right there.
Hits
to
the
make.
pylon. Unfortunate, unlucky.
And so that's amazing footwork. We were looking at that sideline. The last score happened with a breakaway catch. But now let's see if the Radiance can work in the other direction. They're just going to try to launch it, see if they come up with something. And they do. And they launch it again. They're coming up with that same strategy. And again, huge heads up D. Can't just let that ride. Can't just let it ride. I don't think so.
You know, and that was a great, fabulous D by Chip Yen. And Maggie O'Connor directing, distributing, hucking.
And Maggie O'Connor's like, oh, we can do that too, okay? We can do it too. It's not just you. That's right. To Nessa. That's Emily Nash. Oh, and a huge around. Nice and lofty. To O'Connor. Okay. A little bit high, a little bit out there.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you just gotta chill. And that's the interesting. Oh, what a great lead. And again,
massive catch. Chip Yen again.
Yes,
oh, Stephanie just really disappearing away from that defender. O'Connor telling everyone, hey, this is what I want. This is what needs to happen. Visionary. Samantha Wool. Oh, those defense. Who's open? And it's open, and there's a score right there, making it incredible. That is Maddie Shade.
That's right. There was no shade in that throw, though. It was a great throw and catch. Great catch by Maddie Shade. And we're going to see that again. Maggie O'Connor distributing that disc.
You could argue it was all shade because it was just cold-blooded.
They were just left in the shade. But that was a great throw, great catch, great work by Astra's offensive line. Again, scoring at that tried and true end zone. Maggie O'Connor, just a real staple for the Astra handler core. Really distributing that disc, able to get open at will, and, you know, representing for trans folks, which is what the PUL does all day, every day.
And also, amazing point, of course, seconded. And Lillette Brooks, got to give it up to her for that, the D downfield, you know, being a central player to that offense as well. truly incredible. We have Lexi Roy, Natalie Guzman, we got Meister, so many people coming out on really hard defense, rushing the field.
That roller.
Not allowing an easy throw to happen. After that second throw, they're already on the mark. We see a zone, our first zone, that Cup is moving downfield. And that also down. Oh, we see a scooper above the Cup.
And that roller pull really set that up. Instead of trying to loft it in the air, roll it on the ground, and it made a lot of yards for the Astra.
And that deep says absolutely not denied, completely in the end zone, getting up and getting big. And Avo says, yes, hey, let's go, come back down, let's set this play up and not take anything for granted. We were wanting to see that zone, and they gave us what we wanted. Meister with a disc.
You got to give the people what they want, you know? Okay, looks off Roy. Guzman's there. They do a little give go. Oh my goodness! But that she totally read that play. Amazing, putting your body on the line, and that's really what's got to happen. And Jenny Way with the disc throws it, scores with number 21, Julia Hoffman. That was a great look. I think that zone defense was a great idea, starting off with that roller pull by Guzman. But, you know, they kind of figured out who they were looking to do, and they laid out, put their bodies on the line, and got that D. I mean, we got to give it up to that layout D. That was so critical and crucial. Let's see that again. Bam! The presence of mind to be outstretched and know exactly where that handler space was going. And you know why they know it? Because they're throwing those handler throws as well. So that's exactly why that happened. And it was a great layout D and benefited them to result in the score. So now we see Radiance contemplating whether they'll answer with a zone of their own. What do you think is going to happen? What do you predict, Julia? I have a feeling they're not going to throw a zone, and then they might try to hold it off because that might be too predictable. But we'll see. We can't tell. The wind has been pulling this disc. It moved a little bit further with just a regular kind of type pull. So perhaps the wind has died down just a bit. Yep, they got match defense. So we're back with our handling. Massive strike upfield. Avalon, are we okay? She says she's okay. Okay, Avalon with the disc. She dishes it back. And a little bit of a late bid. That's all right. And back to Radiance. Looking around, Jenny Way. Okay, too high in the sky. Slowly walking. Lots of presence of mind on this LA Astra team. And that's a great catch. Way to go to ground. And there's about a minute 20 left in the third. Oh, amazing catch. Astra's really giving the people what they want with these great catches, putting it all on the line. And just really waiting patiently to ensure that happens. And really tough throw. Let's make a quick announcement. PUL Championship Weekend announcements. The Premier Ultimate League PUL is thrilled to announce that the 2025 PUL Championship will be held in Madison, Wisconsin on June 14th through 15th, 2025. This two-day celebration of women's and gender-expansive professional ultimate, hallelujah, will showcase the top talent in the league, promising an unforgettable weekend of high-level competition and community. Come through June 14th through the 15th, 2025, Madison, Wisconsin for PUL Championship Weekend. Let's go, and let me say a little bit about the Premier Ultimate League. This live broadcast was brought to you by
the premier Ultimate League. The PUL is a 501c6 nonprofit. This league has been community funded since day one, and we are so grateful for the support. We ask that you consider donating to us to help us continue to transform and fulfill our mission. Head to premierultimateleague.com to donate today. And you know, that's the thing. That's premierultimateleague.com. premierultimateleague.com. Donate today. Help us to continue to do the things that we do and the things that you love, which is to bring gender-expansive and women's Ultimate League to the rest of the world and to you. Say word. Let's watch some Ultimate. We're back from this timeout. Radiance with the disc on offense. And Lee Guzman on D with Audrey Lyman looking. Slicey, Blady across. Successful. Looking around. Back to Lyman. Looking to 6. Upfield. Lyman gets open again. She's been given open all day. Looking around. Patiently runs it back. Around the 45, Caitlin Cross. Goes to ground to 88. Kletsky. Back to Lyman. Slices and dices. Back to the co-captain. King. Looking at Audrey. Making a high, lofty throw, risky, but comes back down with the disc. The horn goes off. Trying to maintain that possession to number 2. Looking around. It's a high one. The catch is made to Jenny Way. Jenny Way looking back. The dump throw happens. Back to Jenny.
And this is a very high intense moment. If the Raleigh Radiance is able to score, it is going to be the first time they have led the entire game, and they're able to do it with 0 points left in the third. Raleigh Radiance is now up 7 to LA 6. And again, this is the first time that they have been up at all during this game.
It's a crucial point in the game. Let's see. This is just the last part of the game.
And it's a great bid that the defender did. Number 26.
And that's Cameron Helm. However, you know, it's not a reflection of that entire point, because honestly, this is one of the most cohesive that we've seen the Radiance this entire game. Was that after the buzzer went off, or just a little bit before, they were making short, decisive throws. I think that the wind is kind of dying down just a little bit, and they were able to execute with kind of their little militia that they have there on the team, because it's been the same names, the same people that we've been saying: Caitlin Gross, Jenny Way, Lyman, Kletsky. It's been a lot of these same folks who are making these plays.
Another thing is that was the first time that anyone has scored on that end zone. And so, you know, they were able to kind of decipher the code of that end zone. And so now it's going to be up to Astra to answer back and also break back if they're going to be able to take a victory on their first PUL game. And now we're going to be, taking a momentary break for a word from our sponsors and supporters. It's the end of the third with Raleigh Radiance 7, LA Astra 6 at the end of the third. All right, and we're back, starting off with our fourth and last quarter of this game. Raleigh Radiance versus the LA Astra. The first time that the Raleigh Radiance has been up. It is 7-6, and we'd like to thank our
sponsor, local sponsor, Farfield Beer Company. We'd like to thank our partner, Farfield Beer Company. The after party for today's match is just down the road at Farfield Beer Company. Farfield is giving Astra fans 15% off. How much off? 15% off when you mention us as you order. Fans are welcome to bring friends, family, and children to Farfield for the after party. Farfield is located at 4471 West Rosecrans Avenue, right here in Lawndale. That is 4471 West Rosecrans Avenue, right here in Lawndale. That is Farfield Beer Company. Thank you so much for your sponsorship. Let's get back to the game. And we see a turnover by the Raleigh Radiance, and the Astra are coming in on offense to start this fourth quarter. This is the end of the game. It is the conclusion of a hard-fought battle, many turnovers. What do you think is going through the heads of the LA Astra, Julia?
Well, I think right now they're trying to read that disc. And Stephanie Pritchard does read the disc.
Oh, yeah, she makes it happen. She's making plays. She has that presence of mind. Samantha Wool comes back down with it as well. And unfortunately, it sails out of bounds. That wind is still with us, and especially on that side of the field, it's going to be even more challenging to make possessions and make scores over there. So we see Astra back on D, and Raleigh trying to make quick work and ensure the score. Oh, but then we got a run through defense right now and trying to get that book in downfield. Hard to do, and we see a huge big block by Jenny Way. Audrey Lyman making sure that she starts off with possession, and we have a lot of space coming downfield with the Raleigh Radiance. Number 21, we have Maggie O'Connor ensuring that we don't get a lot of time to get that downfield. Up to 49. The team makes that catch. And then Raleigh comes back down. Another one from their captain, or co-captain, Maddie Pletsky, with another score, and they're up 8-6.
It is. Astra's gonna have to dig deep on this one. And we're going to see the replay here. And these nice floaty, overhead throws were really successful for this team as they were able to work it down that sideline. As I was saying, Astra's going to have to really dig deep in terms of scoring. They're going to be going down by this other end zone, our friendly end zone. And they're going to have to really concentrate on that, also paying attention to the wind, how it's dying down a little bit. That might also open it up for some more downfield hucks, which was that amazing catch that Steph Pritchard was able to make.
Yeah, I'm noticing that the patience that the Astra has executed most of the game, that the Radiance is making a lot of quick work, quick plays. They're dishing it off very, very fast. And so I think that that's a change of pace. And so I wonder how the Astra is going to respond to that change.
And that pull lands out of bounds. So Astra's going to be able to take that in the middle of the field with Guzman picking it up.
Okay. Naomi Guzman setting it up. We have number 18, Sarah McKee, on D against her, matching up.
And just burned through two people. There was one defender that poached off the wall. Okay. Back to 5.
Okay, and then unfortunately another turn. Jenny Way makes that. Steiner, yes. Carly Steiner making sure that that disc does not go away. Unfortunately, an uncharacteristic turn that happens right there. Huge mark on the dump. 24 gets it, though, downfield. They're working with that win and slicing it downfield. We have a big mark energy, but a big slice downfield. Who was that made that catch? Is that Igawa again?
Yes, it's Igawa.
Not letting it happen. Nope. There's a lot of value coming from this LA Astra team. And back at it again. She makes that catch. Number 5, yes. We can hear our announcers. That's Sharon. Oh, plucking it out of the sky. Guzman almost there. These are a battle of inches, people. It's a battle of inches downfield. But incredible throws, incredible catches. All right, Radiance looking downfield, directing traffic. She's saying, pointing downfield, this is a blade that I need you to get. And the blade is gotten about 20 yards downfield. Another blade to the side. They're working that outside in from away towards the home.
And there's
a whistle.
I think it's a timeout called probably by Radiance. The thing about calling a timeout at this moment is, for one, it allow. Oh, it was a pick called. Okay, my mistake. So, but it was a timeout called as well. So, and the thing about calling a timeout that Radiance did was because it stops the clock. It allows them to reset to make any kind of changes they want to make on the line. It's a very smart call by Radiance, but Astra's still in it to win it, and they could also change their lineup as well, whoever defensive players they want to put on right now. So this is a crucial point. This is a crucial point for Astra, and a crucial point for Radiance to be able to go up 9-6. So Astra's going to really be strategizing about who they want to put in their defensive line.
And, as you're talking about who they could put up, I'm making my own fantasy team about who I'd like to see. I'd love to see Maggie O'Connor on the field, Carly Steiner on the field on the Astra. I think these are great players who offensively and defensively can really put some pressure and also calm it down, make those catches, and get in the air. Avalon Igawa as well, Meister. I think that these are great players that we could see, and we see O'Connor here too. So let's see what shakes loose. She's dancing it out. Let's see. Audrey Lyman. She's been on almost every single point. Jenny Way as well. Goes to ground. Pops up.
And there it is. And there it is. Even Deing the formidable Jenny Way. And now Astra has the disc. It's going to be really up to them to be playing calmly and with precision and with intention.
Really good dishes. Maggie launches it. And the catch has been received. Oh, it was not in.
It's not in yet.
Looked in, however, appears to not be in. And unfortunate turnover right in the end zone. Audrey Lyman right there. Can there be a D set up? Jenny Way goes back. She's going to look at that upfield, launch it there too.
And there was that poach defense that they also attempted, but they're really they're working it in the middle.
Now, how could she have
look at
gotten
that flow
these
so
much downfield?
Goodness. It was as if the wind gifted it to them. Carmen Torme, amazing catch. That really, it couldn't have floated any more if it wasn't it was on a string. And we're going to see that again with this huge huck, and she's running, and then it's just chilling, and it's caught.
I don't know how she got deep that way, but she made it happen. And, Torme's another one of those returning players that the Radiance depends on, and they know how to play her. They know each other. that's one of the advantages of playing with the same folks on almost every single point is you develop a chemistry, you develop a line, you know who's going to be there, you know who's not. Hey, look, it's us again, who are making the Ds and who are making the catches downfield. So even if folks are tired, there is a place where you can dig deep for that intensity. It looks like Raleigh is going there, but the Astra and LA is still in this and is known for making big plays at the end of high-pressure games. Meister with the disc. Looking to Samantha Wool. Wool looks down. Pritchard makes the play downtown. Looking around. Back
Great
to Meister.
one-handed catch.
O'Connor got it. Back to Wool. Emily wants it. That around. Back to Wool. O'Connor is open. Looking for a big break. We want another break. The break is looked off. Upfield. We're making work. Wool again. And O'Connor makes that happen with a spike for emphasis and exclamation. Astra with a goal, making it 9-7.
And there's still plenty of time, folks. It's 4 minutes, 51 seconds. We're going to see that replay really calm from that Astra O-line. And it's just flipped up. And Maggie reaches in the sky, number one, in the sun, and catches that amazing goal.
It's because of that chia seed bowl that Maggie O'Connor had earlier today. I was watching that Instagram feed. I was seeing that.
Oh, there's Jacob Balmer.
That looked pretty good.
Love to the Aviators as well. Jacob Balmer's first year coaching for the Aviators. And check out the fans in the stands cheering for the Astra. It is an exciting inaugural game of the Astra in the Premier Ultimate League. Oh, checking out some Aviators in the stands. I saw Eddie there. Eddie Finley. So, you know, folks supporting the squad, supporting the team, and that's a roller on the sidelines for the Radiance to pick up.
I'm really excited to see that. It's great to see the Aviators in men's ultimate support the LA Astra there. The Aviators are an incredible team. Great players, great owners, great coaches. It's an awesome establishment and exciting to be part of the UFA. So that's amazing. Let's get back to the action.
Nice attempted D. I think that was also smart play to roll that, to pull that on the sideline, because sideline has been the most difficult to get off and easier to make Ds.
And then they're continuing to make work of that. We're seeing this end zone kind of taking the lead, actually, in scoring in this last half of the third quarter and now fourth quarter as well. And the Astra comes up. She comes up with the D. They have been excellent in clamping down and ensuring that they get the D. And unfortunately, that offense goes to ground. Audrey Lyman picks it up, makes quick work of it, looking for a continue right away on the break side. And then Pletsky scores it, throws it in there, making it 10-7 Radiance with number 21, Julia Hoffman. All right, let's see that. Pletsky, Hoffman. They're breaking around. They're using those breaks incredibly quickly, just immediately making quick work. And, you know, the Astra can also take a look at that out of that book of break, score. And because the Radiants are running away with it with a little over 3 minutes left in this quarter, in this entire game. So This West Coast has got to come up with the best strategy to ensure that they stay in this game and win.
That's right, Tiffany. And there's a great tried and true O-line that they have for the Astra. Maggie, the distributor, the scorer, amazing player, and the squad of the O-line for Astra.
Okay, Wool to Meister, yes. They're again looking for those break opportunities back to Wool rather than force it up that line. But sometimes all you have is those line throws. Looking deep, looking deep. Oh, okay, great. It stays in. High up in the sky.
Great grab, great hands.
Oh, back to Meister. Around to O'Connor. Meister gets it again. Watch, they're using that break side, ensuring that happens. Oh, and that's a tough one. Okay, so this goes to ground, intended for Stephanie Pritchard. Now it goes to Rydell for the Radiance. Makes the catch. We have a Blady to that side. Not in.
It's not in.
We got a drop. She drops.
Oh, no.
O'Connor picks up. Number 43 to Hoffman.
And, you know, you just can't cover everybody.
Clear. Hackle. Excuse me. Makes the score.
And that's another break for the Raleigh Radiance. You know, really what we're seeing here, and that's a hawk down there. And the wind, instead of pushing it away, has been floating, and Radiance has been able to read the wind and using the throws to their advantage. Maggie O'Connor really trying to guard and to peel off from one defender, and they split the difference. And Raleigh's up 11 to Los Angeles 7 at less than 2 minutes in this game.
This broadcast, this very clear and amazing broadcast, is brought to us. Our live stream broadcast is brought to us by TVX Sports Video. This high-def action wouldn't be possible without the support of TVX. They're available for all your live broadcast needs at tvxvideo.com. That's tvxvideo.com. Watch it here. Watch it clear. tvxvideo.com. Let's go back to the action.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, TVX Video. Thank you, Premier Ultimate League. And there is the pull by Radiance to the Astra. Just a little bit kind of close to the brick mark by the sideline.
And it's in. Naomi Guzman looking for somebody, looking for some kind of help. Puts it deep. Blading it up. Oh, the middle makes the catch. Can she complete? Good chill holster. And it ends with a reward.
Avalonic with the assist. Here we go, Astra.
Yeah, Cameron Helm, a great catch. You know, the thing about Avalon great, and we're going to see that again, is a throw on to Avalon, and she is calm, she is chill, she sees what she wants, she's looking for the open player, and then she does that. There's a little toe tap, little toe got on there, but it was no match for Cameron Helm. There was no match. And now we've got Raleigh Radiance 11 and LA Astra 8. And what do you think we can be expecting in a little bit less than 2 minutes left in this entire game? What would you be doing if you were Astra on this field?
I would probably take a timeout if I had it and talk about some very specific plays that I would be wanting to make, and some lines that I would be throwing. Not that they haven't thrown lines or aren't throwing one Now, so, you know, we have Veronica Yee with the disc looking to pull, but I would be thinking about, hey, what specifically do I want to do? Because they have very little time and quite a few points to make up in order to have a win. You got to have at least 4 points to not just tie, but to win. So let's see what the Astra are going to do. Oh, okay. So it looks like that was in. I had a question. That was a question that I had in my mind.
Yeah.
But looks like that stays in. And that stays in, but out of the hands of the intended receiver. So the Astra are going to bring the disc up. Is there a discussion?
So it looks like there was a timeout that was called by Raleigh Radiance before that throw, which, if that's the case, they still maintain possession.
Why does that feel wrong in my soul?
Well, okay, but it is righteous in terms of the rules of the game. Oh, it's Astra's timeout. Well, there you go. And Don says Astra maintains possession after this turn by Raleigh Radiance. But it is strategically what some teams do. They will call a timeout while they have possession in order to maintain possession if they think there's going to be a turn or if they think there's going to be a stall call. Sometimes teams do that. It is a strategy. It is a legit strategy, but that's not what happened here.
Yeah, if the form don't look right, you know, you can just call that timeout, and if it's a score, you can just rescind it, I guess. You know,
he's still good.
That's kind of wild. But hey,
I think it actually goes back.
Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. So let's just see what happens. Now we have the Astra with the disc, looking downfield, setting up. Number 25, Samantha Wool. Julia Hoffman on D. Looks like they're going to run some type of a zone right now. The first zone of the day from the Raleigh Radiance. Okay. They don't want it to happen. Is she going to just punt it? Perhaps. Is there... amazing breaking through that zone.
The thing also is that time is on the side of Raleigh Radiance, and so part of the strategy of the zone is also to run down that clock with less than a minute left. And Astra are doing great in passing it down the field. Oh, there's a pick called. Saw that pick happen. And the clock needs to stop or go back, actually. All right. Samantha Wool. Another violation. And look at Maggie O'Connor hustling down. This is going to be the last moments of the game. And it is caught by the Astra with 9 seconds left. You know, if you're going to go out strong. This is a great inaugural game. And as there is 9 seconds.
Brooks.
9 seconds left. Wanted to also invite you all again. And okay, let's check out that replay. Look, Matt O'Connor, hustle. Always puts it all out on the field, and that's a great catch by Samantha Wool and by Lillette Brooks. Excuse me. And I just want to say, with 9 seconds left, for folks to come on out. If you're listening in the live stream, thank you for checking it out. Or if you're on the field, come out to Farfield Beer Company after this game. We'd like to thank them. It's going to be the after party. It's just up the street at 4471 West Rosecrans Avenue in Lawndale. We love to hang out with you, and it's just been great as Astra comes out with 9 seconds left. They're going to put it all out on the field, and this has just been such an exciting inaugural game. Can't wait for these next 9 seconds of the first PUL game of Astra, and that's an amazing pull. All right, Stitch, let's go. Naomi Guzman pulling it on the sideline. It's been such a great game. I mean, especially at the beginning, we have so many turns, disc in the air, disc on the ground.
Yeah.
The wind moving like it just don't care.
Bodies smacking, disc hacking. It was just wild times in the high school.
Oh,
another
wow.
one, and
Amazing.
a Mac attack. And the game ends 11-9. Raleigh Radiance. They came out, the airfare and the flight miles paid off, and they were able to come away with a win against the Astra.
Congratulations, good game, Raleigh Radiance, and congratulations to LA Astra for playing an amazing game. It was so exciting to call, to watch, and all the effort, all the heart that the Astra has put out here on the field. It's been a good game, and it's been exciting to call this game with you, Tiffany Wallace.
It's been such a pleasure to call the game with you, Julia Wallace, my twin, my sister. Such a joy. Not everybody gets to do that with their twin, with their sibling, and to be part of this historic organization and endeavor is really just something that I'm very honored to do with you. I'm very honored to be proud of, and it's been incredible. It's a sunny and crisp day, and thank you so much to all the staff, everybody here who's working, doing the mics, doing the sound, doing the visual and video, everyone who's helping to clean up.
The coaches, the fans, everybody.
The staff, the kids, everyone who's here to support, the physical therapists, like all of the heroes who make this happen, the organizers, the managers. There's just a lot of people to thank. So the players. So just thank you all so much for being part of this. Thank you to the PUL. Thank you to all of our sponsors. You're a tremendous part of this endeavor, and we're just so grateful to be here today.
All right. Well, thank you for doing that, Tiffany, and signing you off for Tiffany Wallace. I am Julia Wallace. It's been a pleasure, and we hope to see you again at this Premier Ultimate League and for LA Astra.
Radiance, someone please fix that Pikachu. For Pikachu. Fans, come to the Far Field Beer Company for our official after party. Tell them you're a fan of the Astra and get 15% off drinks. 4471 West Rosecrans Avenue, Lawndale, California. If you come out, make sure to buy a drink to Jessica Martinez. It is her birthday tomorrow.